How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy King Cap, and I am here with a review of Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, before I get into what my thoughts are, I get it. I understand the hype that's around this game, and to be honest, I played Worlds, I played Rise. I was not a fan. I tried to give it a go, and just for some reason, it didn't jive with your boy. But I tried Wilds, and I'm just absolutely addicted to this game. I put in about 20-25 hours, so not like a crazy amount in, but I'm not gonna lie, just me recording this video right now, all I want to do is go back to playing. So let's get into the review. But before, as always, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, share a comment, all that jazz. I appreciate all the love that I got from my last previous video. I'm sorry it's been a while. Your boy's just, I know it's an excuse, but your boy's been busy. But you know, we're gonna be dropping more content. But before we start pointing fingers, let's just get into the review. So I originally was not going to get this game, alright? I just bought a new PC. Your boy finally has a tower instead of a gaming laptop. Nothing too crazy, just, you know, a 4080, no big deal, right? And I wanted a shiny new game to play, and I'm like, what's coming out that's new that I could like really try to push the hardware of my PC? I saw Monster Hunter Wilds was dropping like literally like a day later, so I'm like, all right. I checked out the reviews, it looked good. I'm like, fuck it, let's get into it, because initially all I was really playing on my PC was COD. Yes, I became one of those sweaty PC COD kids, and to all the other PC COD kids, the only thing I can say is fuck you. Yo, what hacks are you guys using? But really, like, I just wasn't going to get this game, and then I got a PC, so I'm like, yeah, let's get a game on it. And I downloaded it, I played it right at midnight, and I'm not gonna lie, I went to bed at like 4 or 5 a.m. that night because I was just putting in work in this game. I just enjoying it. The combat is just so much more smoother, which I think was my biggest gripe with World and Rise, was just how clunky the combat felt to me, because like I love my character action, I love my DMCs, I love my Bayonetta, I love my Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, my Ninja Gaiden, I love all that shit, but just it didn't feel like there was proper impact, and it just felt like I was whiffing so much. Now you could say that was a skill issue in the previous games, because I've seen like high level gameplay, and I get it, you have to learn how the weapon moves and all that stuff and time it well, but I just hated the fact that if you did a combo, you are committed to that one direction and you couldn't turn around. Big thing about Wilds is that you can actually turn around due to the focus mechanic, and you can actually turn around while you're doing hits, which I really think helps smooth out a lot of the clunkiness that is the combat. So something that minor really did a number of how well I actually enjoyed this game. I know that this game has a little bit more of a story. Now, the story isn't great. I mean, it's just like your regular run-of-the-mills. Like, there's some kid that gets his village destroyed, and you're trying to hunt down the White Wraith and all that jazz, and you find out some twists and turns about the monsters, and I won't gonna spoil the story, even though it's nothing crazy, but there is an actual cohesive story with really beautifully shot cutscenes. Great action choreography in these cutscenes as well, that kept me engaging. Like, I was enjoying it. Like, I wasn't skipping the cutscenes in this game, opposed to when I was playing Worlds and playing Rise. Even though there was a lot minimal of a story in those games, I felt that I was like literally skipping every cutscene because I didn't give a shit. But here I actually listened, I reflected on the dialogue and everything. I definitely feel the dialogue is a lot less cringe in this in Wilds compared to the other games. So yeah, I mean, if you're here for the story, I mean, you're gonna probably be disappointed, because the story is, for one, like very short, and two, it's nothing special, but it's engaging, and it definitely helps build the world around and the environment and the characters that you're dealing with, getting quests from and stuff once you actually get to that end game part. And I think that it really does enhance the experience. So I do definitely think that the story is pretty good in this game. Overall, it's an enjoyable experience. Now, about the story too, the story is really well paced. I really do like how pretty much after every cutscene you're fighting a boss. There's no like, oh, you have to go and fight a bunch of small enemies and then get to the boss and There's none of that. There's none of that filler content. It's like, here's a cutscene, you gotta ride to this place to fight a boss, and then sometimes right after there's a cutscene, and then another boss right after. And I really think that that keeps the story pacing very engaging, because like you're doing something every moment. Like, this is literally boss fight the game, like even more so than like Elden Ring, all those stuff, because there's no like long levels or long dungeons. It's like boss fight after boss fight, then go and, you know, refuel on your stuff, build some equipment if you need to at your home camp, and then go fight another boss. And I really do like that, because the boss fights are actually really amazing. Like the monsters you hunt, how you're fighting them, the environments, it's just so nice. And that's another thing, I think the environments in this game are really cool. They like to say it's an open world. It's more of an open world than previous Monster Hunters. I definitely agree with that. Everything is kind of linked together, but they're in separate biomes. So what I mean is, like, yeah, the forest is connected to the plains, but like there's a loading screen in between, and then the forest has its own map, like a different biome. And I think it's a good approach, right? Like, there's a lot to, you know, explore in these places. They're not overly massive. They definitely have some depth to them. Some, like, you know, like some places are higher than others. You can go like underground in some places, but the maps aren't like overly massive, which I think keeps it fresh. Like, you can get to one place to another place very quickly, especially on your mount. So I think that the pacing in terms of like how the world is built, how the story is, how the bosses go, I think it's really well done. And I think that's definitely what kept me so engaged with the story, because the actual main like story campaign is pretty much a tutorial. Like, it's literally like a 10 to 12 hour tutorial, and then you get to the end game, which is where like the actual meat and potatoes is of this game, which I will speak about later in the actual gameplay part. But yeah, I think just the presentation and the world and everything, I think it's very top notch. The RE engine continues to look amazing. You know, there are some performance issues, which I'll definitely get to later, but I think overall, like with the vision and the art style and the actual like cutscene direction, top notch. Capcom is literally just always showing why they're the best in the business. Capcom's easily my favorite company. It's always has been since I was younger, but especially now, just because I feel like Capcom just doesn't miss. They take their time with games. They release games at a very decent pace, and they never disappoint. So kudos, Capcom. Like, y'all are just literally the best in the industry, in my opinion. So another really cool thing with this game that's actually new is the wound system. So in the wound system, you're gonna see that as you're fighting these big ass monsters, you're gonna see cuts form on like their legs or their tail or their face or whatever. You're gonna want to hit these wounds to deal some extra damage. Then you can actually destroy the wound, and it'll like disable the enemy, make them fall on their back. You change your spirit level, and you can go into like the stance where you can do like crazier attacks, and you get like the full utility of your class. I really do like that system. I did talk about the focus system as well, where you can hold the left trigger or L2 or whatever it is on PC. I play with a controller on PC, but you can use that to have like a aiming reticle, as if like you're aiming down sights, and you can literally rotate as you're attacking. So when you're doing like your spirit slash, you can like be hitting forward and then like continue the combo going left, and then if the enemy like swings around you, you can like continue the combo and hit behind you. So it really does help with the clunkiness. You definitely feel like you have more control. And then also, because of the wound system, how you're going to be aiming on like intricate parts of the body, like the toes or whatever, the fact that you can aim and then press like your R1 or your RB to like do an attack that's going to destroy the wound, it's very easy and very satisfying. Like, just seeing like the wound like break, and then the enemies like flip it on their back, freaking out, and you're just like going to town, beating the snot out of it with all your moves, and just like using all your high damage moves. It's just so satisfying. It never got old. You know, sometimes you'll have like 4 wounds on the enemy, and you're just breaking them one by one, or breaking them all in one hit, and it's just so damn fun. The enemy is just like locked in place, just freaking out, and you're just going to town on it, and it really is a very satisfying feeling. This game isn't overly difficult. I definitely feel that the game is pretty easy, especially when you party up or have AI companions. It's definitely very easy. But I mean, I'm not at like the furthest hardest enemies yet, so maybe that might change. I know that Monster Hunter is pretty known to have pretty difficult DLC, so once the inevitable DLC for this game comes out, you bet your ass your boy's gonna get it. But I definitely can see some harder monsters coming then, so hopefully that will, you know, balance that difficulty scale itself. But yeah, the new mechanics I feel with the combat really did help iron out the clunkiness I felt in World and Rise, and it's literally made me a fan, because before I hated the combat, like I just hated whiffing all the time. But here you're actually able to just control yourself a lot more, and it really does help. So I played longsword. I know that there's like 14 different weapons or something. Like the great sword is like the OP weapon. I know longswords are really good. Dual blades, there's been some crazy videos of some like anime ass freaking moves you can do with dual blades. I did longsword just because I wanted to, you know, channel my inner Virgil, and like it's so fun just doing moves where like you do like a slash and then there's like a bunch of after slashes after, like you literally feel like Virgil from DMC. So you know, Capcom, I think they knew what they were doing with the longsword. But yeah, I really did like that class. I created Calico that looked like my cat Saint. Very funny. I tried to make me and my Calico look like me and my cat. I think I did a pretty decent job. Maybe I'm a little bit more handsome than my character, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I definitely think that the in-game creator has some good options. Didn't go too crazy into it just because I'm not like one to spend hours creating my characters. I just make the guy black, give him a cool haircut, give him some cool eyes, make sure he doesn't look ridiculous, and I'm set, you know, especially because like I'm wearing armor all the time and shit. I don't really care. But the character creation, if you're into that, there's definitely some cool options for you and your little furry friend as well, your Calico, your Palico. But yeah, it's the game is amazing. Like there's so many options to do in this game. So I'm now at the end game. I'm definitely learning a lot more things. Like there was a mission where you had to capture this one monster, and it literally didn't tell you how to capture a monster prior. So I was fighting this freaking monster, and for one, this is like the most annoying ass monster in the game. I'm trying to kill it, or capture it, sorry, and I accidentally kill it, and then I have to restart the mission. And I'm like, how the hell do you have to capture it? And you end up having to check your mount later, and then there's two items that are used to capture that are now in your saddle, and then you have to take them out and use them. I just felt like that was so convoluted and so like stupidly explained to the players, because like I had to search it up because I'm like, how the hell do I capture this? I was throwing my net at this enemy for so long, and then I see that you have to take these off your mount, and then Alma, the girl that's always with you in some of the missions, tells you, oh, go on your mount and take the items out. And I'm like, this is how you explain to me how to capture monsters? I definitely feel like that's a problem with the series, is that they're really bad at conveying some things to players, like, you know, attacking monsters and killing monsters and all that stuff. Of course, it's easy. There's a tutorial. Press triangle, press R1, whatever. But like in intricate systems in the game, I feel like they do a pretty bad job of explaining it. I know that this game is a lot more accessible than the other ones, because I never got far in World and Rise, but this game does a little bit better apparently explaining it, and they've simplified a lot of things. But still, definitely, if you feel overwhelmed when you play this game, don't be ashamed to look at some YouTube videos, go on Reddit, all that shit, because there's a lot of things that are just like really badly explained to the player. And I guess unless you've been playing the series for years and years, you won't know. But I respect that, because I feel like this game is trying to appeal to a wider audience, but it's not leaving its core audience behind, which is always the sweet spot, right? And I think that a lot of companies have a difficult time doing that. They always alienate at least one side or the other. There's very rare cases like Elden Ring that succeeded, or other games. But I think Wilds did an amazing job at finding that perfect balance. But with that perfect balance, there is still going to be some issues. So definitely don't be ashamed to look at some YouTube videos, because there's some shit that I had no idea. Like even right now, like I'm watching endgame content of what to do now, because it just doesn't explain it. But yeah, I just wanted to give some quick thoughts on the game. I really am enjoying it. I'm going to continue playing the game. I know there's some performance issues. I personally have not had any crashes or any stutters or anything. I'm actually been pretty blessed with my performance, but I've seen videos. I know that if you have like a base PS5 or like a Series X and you want to play on like performance, the game looks like ass water. On the Pro, it's better. I almost got it because I have a Pro and I heard it was good on the Pro. I really wanted something on my PC, so I got that. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic game. I recommend it to anybody. If you're looking for a game to play with friends, if you're looking for a game to have, you know, endless content, this is the game for you. So definitely recommend trying it. This game has been a massive success for Capcom. I think it's like 8 million copies in 3 days. Absolutely wild. Definitely contribute to that. This is a fantastic game. You know, so far in 2025, I know it's pretty early, but this is easily my game of the year so far. Definitely can see it staying in that list of top 10s, and I'm excited for the new content that's going to be coming out. Like, I'm going to be, you know, logging in every day for my login bonus and playing the events and everything. And you know, I got a couple friends that got the game now, so I'm gonna be playing with them. So, you know, fantastic game for sure. But that's gonna do it here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your patience while I made another video. To be fair, I had another video done, edited, everything. I posted it, and unfortunately got hit with copyrights. It was about Daima. I'm going to do another video about my thoughts on Daima now that it has concluded. There's a lot of things I want to say about it that unfortunately I did not get to say because it got hit with copyright. But we have a video out now, and I appreciate all the patience. More is going to be coming. And if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you're playing Monster Hunter Wilds, let me know if you're a big Monster Hunter fan, let me know if you're not and what's stopping you. Maybe we can talk about it. Did you watch Daima? Did you like Daima? All these things. If you want to let me know you're having a bad day, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I will always respond to everybody. So until then, King Cap signing out. Peace.